The storm is not over regarding rising food prices in Nigeria, but there is a ray of hope in some states. Well, food prices have started to drop at major grain markets in Kano, Taraba and Niger states following recent actions taken by the government and major stakeholders. Meanwhile, rice millers in Gombe State blame the rising cost of rice in the country on the activities of middlemen. And the millers linked their pressure on rice demands to nefarious activities of middlemen who are alleged to have bought bags of paddy and stored them in their warehouses to the detriment of Nigerians. And they were a good thing, prices are dropping.
Yeah.
But I'm yet to see that in Lagos, because I remember not too long ago I bought rice, a pint of rice, 5,500.
Yeah.
And it's still going up. Even to a point people were like, if it gets to 3,000 a derica, I will still buy it because it is it's the staple food that Nigerians eat.
Yeah.
But what would you say is contributing to the drop in prices in Kano? Would you say the measures taken by the government is good enough? Or we need to apply that here in the south?
I think the prices would have gone down, if not because of certain measures taken by the government. When the president came back, from his last trip, he had meetings and certain decisions were taken. And I think we are seeing the results because the first thing, they were able to stop, cross-border trade, taking those items out of the border. There was a more effective policing at the border. Then they also went after people that were hoarding, grains and all sort of. So automatically you expect some level of surplus, and it automatically brought the prices down. Sometimes up to 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira. The prices of sorghum, rice, beans, went down drastically because it's a function of demand and supply. When you have more in the market and be able to meet demand,
need.
So I think that's a very it shows that government cannot leave the economy to what they call market forces. There must be intervention by the government, decisive intervention, because human beings generally are driven by primitive profit. And if you don't take action, some people want to make 300% profit on everything that they sell. So I think the government intervention has proved to be effective. I also think this has to be extended to other parts of the country, so that it can have a kind of uniformity in terms of reduction of food prices. Because we find ourselves in the zone where prices are going up almost on a daily basis. Sometimes you go and buy one particular thing in the morning. By the time you get there in the evening, it has gone up 200%. And the reality is that, you see, food is the most important form of security in any society. So beyond what, all of us are talking about, the president, if we go here, President Tinubu and all that, we have 36 states in the country. You see, if you look at some of these items we are complaining about, whether legumes, whether vegetables, whether lettuce, whether grains, between 30 to 60 days, you can grow, these vegetables. You can. Talking about rice, between 105 to 150 days. Talking about yam,
that's
5 months.
In your own...
Yeah, I mean, if states want to really go into food production,
right.
Even when you are talking about boilers, within 7 weeks, within 7 weeks, you can, 7 weeks, if you are even talking about cow, between 18 months and 2 years, what have we been doing since 1999? How many states can you go to and then you say, okay, I'm looking for, you see them in newspapers, they have, done this, they have done, but go to those states and tell them to show you, local governments, 774 local governments, how many of them are involved in production, plus agricultural products. And if you go to this local government, you see the chairman using a car that is worth 25 million naira. But just look for farm that is worth 5 million naira, you are not going to find it. Go to Ministry of Agriculture, you see he lost buses, worth 20-something million naira. With the commissioner sitting down there. Go to the field, let them show you their farm settlements. None. It's only recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, the state was able to distribute 50 kilograms of 10,000 bags of grains. Watch what is going to be the impact in the next 4 months when those things begin to, So we need to go beyond. We need to go look at, parties' old meetings.
Right.
What meetings every month? What do they discuss there? They are discussing about, how the senator, the House of Rep, what is going to tribute in one local. They are not discussing about agriculture. They are not discussing about translating the vision, hope, renewed hope into reality in the rural areas.
Right.
And you find out that the best hustler in those worlds will end up being the one that will nominate for councillor. Will be the one that will go to House of Rep. So when you are talking about agriculture, it has to be a party policy that party members should endeavor to implement in all areas where they are active.
Right.
So I think, for instance, if a state governor gives instruction and say, look, every civil servant, I'm giving you 1 week, you must have farms, and let the governor show by example. Let him also set up his own farm. Let us sit on, where there are no agrarian, where we do, it's not an agrarian society, like Bayelsa or Lagos. The governor can set up fisheries. Let us sit on video where the governor is going to one cottage, sitting down there overnight, and then eating roasted yam, and then we are seeing it's going to inspire people. So it's not enough of this talking on, statements in newspapers, on social media. We want to see our leaders inspire us through practical actions. We have arable farms, so we need to go back to farms, and we have to show the seriousness through the actions of our leaders. Indeed,
through the actions of our leaders need to inspire the people to act in terms of agricultural production. BKO, would you subscribe to this? Because in Lagos, he just mentioned that we perhaps don't have the land, we don't have the farm for such. We could go into fisheries, but what would you propose as the alternative for states like Lagos and in the South to, improve agricultural production in the country, in their states?
Every state has the capacity to do a lot of agric production. It's just that most of the governors do not really care. They don't think it's an issue. Now people are starving. They've seen that food security is a major thing. The reason people are protesting is the rise in food prices. It has nothing to do with
availability of
cost
food.
Of transportation. Right. No, they want to eat, looking for what to eat. It's a good thing that in Kano, which is one of the big food production centers in our country, prices are coming down. In Taraba, and the reasons given is that now some of those who have hoarded these food items, they are bringing them out. In fact, the traders in Kwara markets, in Kano, where they sell plenty of rice, are predicting that it will go further down because government is forcing those hoarding to bring these things out. When we talk about this, they think we are just trying to help the government explain away the problems. We Nigerians are part of the problem. When people move from selling cement at 15,000 per bag, it's sheer madness. Because the bulk, more than 80% of the raw materials, they get it here.
Yeah.
Gypsum, limestone. So what is the thing?
Exactly.
It just moved. And when the minister called the meeting, they now said, okay, depending on the location, we can now sell at between 7,000 to 8,000 naira. And they pleaded with government that they should help them fix their roads leading to the cement production hubs. And then the issue of smuggling, that people are smuggling cement out of the country, they should do something. They gave some excuses. There's no reason in the world for cement price to move from about 5,500 to 9,000 to 15,000. So we hurt ourselves in this country. Look at what those Gombe traders are saying, that middlemen come to buy rice paddy, because the rice paddy is the raw form.
Right.
They are going to remove the chaff, polish it, and then they sell to us. They buy these paddies
in bulk,
right from farms where people are harvesting. They now go and keep. So is the rice paddy that the millers need. The Olams of this world, the biggest rice production company in our country, and the rest, is the paddy that they need. You are not giving them polished rice. It's the paddy. But if you hoard it and they can't have access to it, how do they produce? So people hoard for months and months in the hope that the price will go up. They can now make 10 times
the profit.
What the profit that they should have made. So now piling pressure in this way, blocking people from taking food outside of our country to sell in Niger. They are selling food. I heard the senator talking about that. They now take Nigerian produce, agri-produce, as far as Central African Republic because our currency is weak. So some of these problems are self-inflicted. Let's tell ourselves the truth. You can abuse Tinubu the way you like. It's your right. Abi? It's your right. Abuse him. Curse him. In your mind, it's only one person that is behind this whole problem. But we Nigerians, we are part of the problem. We create some of these problems. If you are selling tomato, how is a tomato price related to foreign exchange?
At all.
To dollar. And a lot of things, even Gary, the moment other food items went up, Gary too went up. So this is what we are doing to ourselves. And if government continues to just sit back and leave people to determine prices the way they like, they are going to do their utmost to bring down the government. So what government must do is to enforce some of the measures that they've taken.
Right.
Stop people from pushing produce across the border because the rest of us will starve. If you sell everything that comes out of here in Niger, in Chad, in Central African Republic or Cameroon, we must have access to some of them here. That is, government must ensure that that happens. Immigration, custom, they must do their job to ensure that that happens. Then, those undesirable elements who go to buy up produce from farmers in the rural areas and then go and lock them up in warehouses, they must be identified. The things that they are holding, they should be relieved of the things that they are holding. So serve as a lesson to them. I can tell you, as those people in Kano that I spoke with have told me, from the signs that they see, the price will continue to go down.
Right.
And you talk about Lagos. If it continues to go down over there, there's no way we won't be affected. Or we're in the same country, some of those food come from that side. So we will ultimately be affected, but we also need to stimulate agricultural production.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That will be the long-term solution.